What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew from the Superhero Crew, and I'm here with Coach from the Superhero Crew, and we are going to be having a review of Avengers Infinity War. So, we just watched Avengers Infinity War, and now I'm just going to tell you guys this right now. This will have tons and tons and tons of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it was great. That's all we're going to say. But from here on out, everything is spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, click off the video, come back when you've seen the movie. So let's talk about the movie. It's so good. Probably one of the best Marvel movies right now. 10 years in the making, this movie.
I think it's on the level with Civil War, which is my favorite. My favorite was Civil War.
This is better than Civil War. This is definitely better than Civil War. My favorite was like Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, but this is like this is definitely my new favorite. This really is my new favorite, and this is really good. And they take stuff from the Infinity War story, or more the Infinity Gauntlet story, and the Infinity story from a couple years back, because you got the Black Order in there, which was cool, to see Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. That was awesome. But you know what else was awesome? Stormbreaker. That was so cool, but we'll never get to see Beta Ray Bill in these movies, which kind of sucks.
Which kind of sucks.
Unless they do something awesome and they do bring Beta Ray Bill, but I doubt it because, well,
then maybe they could just kind of go the same story where Beta Ray Bill comes in, but then, they make another hammer later on now that Thor has fixed the forge.
Yeah, but
well, let's talk about the movie. The movie, I don't know, it started off with a bang, and it was great because it took off exactly where Ragnarok ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Ragnarok, Thanos' ship comes up. And I don't know what happened as Guardians got beat up by the children of Thanos.
Yeah, Loki and Heimdall. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. The weird thing was that one guy, the guy who was talking, the telekinesis guy.
I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. But
he was just wickedly powerful. Like too much.
Yeah.
He probably could have maybe killed Thanos if you think about it.
Yeah. Probably without Thanos, without the gauntlet, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was good. Now, what was some of your favorite parts of Infinity War?
The whole thing with Thor and the Guardians. Every segment with them was great.
Yeah, that was funny. And then
the part where he says, "I'm a man." He goes, and Drax was like, "No, you're not a man. He's a man." He's like as if a pirate had a baby with an angel, and there's like, where's the pirate angel going? And,
yeah,
Drax was on fire in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of funny moments too, and that scene or that moment where Thor comes to Wakanda, that was so good. It's cool to see these characters interact and talk to each other, like Rocket, like Winter Soldier just grabs Rocket, he spins him around, and
they're both shooting.
They're both shooting, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna, how much for the gun? Not for sale. How much for the arm? And he just walks away. He's like, I'm gonna get that arm. You know what I mean? So they did a lot of cool things, but and also
what it was cool is that every movie tied into this movie, but in a good way.
Yeah. So, I did see this thing. It was like, well, to watch Infinity War, you have to watch the other movies, and that's why it's not good. But here's the thing, though. That's the point. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of comic books.
But if you kind of know them, just growing up, we grew up with with Spider-Man and Iron Man and the Hulk and all that. So if you knew those guys, you could actually watch this movie and probably enjoy it. Yeah. But if you're an avid reader and you watched every single movie like we did, it just makes it better. It's just like, oh, everybody's in there. And,
it's cool. It's cool to see them all interact on the big screen. But now, we just talked, anything else to add about the movie before we go on to the future of Marvel?
The only if I say the only downside or the only weird thing was the Red Skull.
Yeah, you know what? I do like that, and I'll get into why in a second, but before we talk about that, about Red Skull, movie was great. Thought it was really good. You obviously I recommended, you recommended as well. So go see this movie. This is 10 years of the Marvel Universe. But anyway, I also want to touch on, what the future is going to be, for the Marvel Universe, because it's like, this is 10 years in the making. It's been 10 years since Iron Man came out. It's been since 2012 we got teased with Thanos. Post-credit scene, he turns, he looks at the camera, he smiles,
And then in Avengers, the first Avengers, that was his army.
Yeah, he was controlling, and then we find that out, obviously during the post-credit scene. But, really quick, I want to touch on like what we think will happen in the future of Marvel. It was cool to see Red Skull because I I was like, oh, they kind of killed off Red Skull because they could do cool things with that in like maybe a Captain America sequel and have him team up with like Batroc or something. But it was cool to see him, and I hope that something happens where like, okay, he's back. Like that's why he's, not like an old man in, because he was around, obviously during World War II, he's in the first Avenger. Why is he not an old man? Well, because, the Cube brought him up, and,
now that Thanos has the Infinity Stone, that was the Tesseract.
Yeah.
He can actually come back, or he finds a way to come back. But also, too, the Red Skull had the Super Soldier Serum. It just didn't work the same way it did for Steve Rogers. But that could also, with his aging and stuff. But, then again, he was been on this plane of, of hell for whatever. And,
yeah. But I think what they're going to do next is, Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to come out. And that's going to, obviously, I think, be before Infinity War, or maybe even during, but who knows? We've just seen, the trailers and stuff.
And they talked about it. They were like, well, where's Ant-Man and Hawkeye? And says, well, they took a plea bargain and they're with their families. And then at the beginning of the Ant-Man, he's like on house arrest. So I guess it's like, all right, so it ties in. The one thing I could say, though, with Marvel is everything ties in pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not like, forget about those first two Iron Man movies. We're not going to think about those. And don't worry about Thor #1. It's like everything has been calculated really, really well.
Yeah. And, so I think what's going to happen is Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to come out. And then I think maybe Hank Pym is going to fizzle in the post-credit scene, like at the end of Infinity War, everybody was fizzling. Maybe he'll be one of those people, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp going to be like, oh, crap. Then show up in the next Avengers movie, Avengers 4. Then you got Captain Marvel coming out.
Right. Now, when is that coming out?
That I believe is next year, because I think it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
May of next year? I think it's
I'm not exactly sure, but I know Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then I think that's all the Marvel movies for this year. But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
Well, Deadpool.
Well, I'm saying Marvel Cinematic Universe wise, not obviously Deadpool 2 and that stuff. But then Captain Marvel's going to come out. Obviously in the post-credit scene, you see the symbol of Captain Marvel. That was cool. But I think what's going to happen is, Captain Marvel, Kree-Skrull War. That's gonna happen in Captain Marvel. Then the post-credit scene of that is going to be present day. She's going to get the beeper from Nick Fury and be like, oh crap, I got to go to Earth. Then she goes and then she'll be in Avengers 4 and hopefully help out with.
And then
whatever.
Then it's basically what they decide to do with all the dusted characters.
What I thought they were gonna do before Infinity War was gonna come out, I didn't think they were gonna split it into two parts, because obviously it's a big cliffhanger at the end. But I thought maybe they were gonna have Infinity War. They're gonna defeat Thanos, but Thanos will come back. Or Thanos will keep the gauntlet, but something will happen. And then Guardians 3 will come out, which obviously it can't. And then Adam Warlock is going to get involved. And then that'll be the actual... Because this is kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet story mixed with the Infinity story. And then Infinity Wars with Adam Warlock and the Magus. Or maybe, they defeat Thanos in this movie. Then Avengers 4, the Magus will get the gauntlet. And, start doing things.
Like the gauntlet was in bad shape, too.
Yeah.
We don't know,
after he snapped his fingers, it looked like it was a little messed up, but he was able to teleport get out of there. So maybe it's still working. You know what I mean? But
maybe it's not as powerful. Who knows? Because that's a point where they're going to take the liberty with the movie.
Yeah.
They're gonna do whatever they want to do with their. It doesn't have to follow a comic book, which in a way it's kind of good. It's okay because. If you read the comic, this is gonna. Oh, really? Oh, they changed it a little bit, so it makes it a little bit more exciting.
Which they're following the comics a little bit, but
it's like a blueprint.
Yeah, they're. It's not like, you know, they're straying too far, like way too far away. They're actually like kind of doing good with it, and that, you know, that's what makes these movies pretty good. It's
Right.
it's good for the comics. It's good comic wise, and they're great movies as well.
Yeah.
You know, but anything else to add about
No,
the movie?
It was great.
So, that's pretty much it. So, we obviously recommend the movie. Go and see this movie. This is a great movie. Go see it. Like the video if you like it. Got any questions? Huh?
See it twice.
Yes. Well, you saw it twice. I was only to see it, so I only saw it once. But yeah, like the video if you like it. Comment down below if you got any questions, and subscribe for more comic-based videos. And see you in the next one.